we are live with Game 3 of the 2018 World Chess Championship. International Master Danny Rensch alongside the one and only Grandmaster Robert Hess.
C7 is a very rare move in this position.
Yeah, so how often has it been played? You've been doing your
only
research.
Only a couple dozen times.
Okay, so at this level, that's
what you're
huge.
saying.
Yeah,
we have an NFL player getting his PhD in math at MIT, and we have
not a big deal.
women's world champion.
A lot of people get their PhD in advanced mathematical theory from the world's most prestigious technological institute. No, not a dubious position here for White, but I believe I hear the legend. Their FIDE master Mike Klein.
You heard a Grandmaster sneeze is what you heard.
I heard a Grandmaster sneeze. Which Grandmaster?
Oh, you can probably guess. How many Grandmasters are in the press room?
Ian Rogers.
Shout out to Ian. Give him our love. Give him one of those hugs.
I will.
And then hold for just like a second too long where it gets awkward and say that was from Danny. What would you say as a retired professional of the highest level? What would be your advice on that? On how you stick with the plan versus balancing, changing when things aren't going well, whether you like it or not?
Yeah, I think the key point is always having a level of unbiasedness, that even though you came up with these plans, you came up with these ideas, that you need to really recognize the exact moment in which, okay, perhaps given what we've seen, this wasn't the best plan, let's try something else.
When you start playing for a win, you're also sort of playing for a loss, because chess is a very objective game, and you're starting to throw in your subjectivity. And I really think that this match has been going Magnus's way. Even though this is just 1-1 right now, this game is still going, very likely headed to 1.5, 1.5, which means he will have an extra white for the remaining 9 rounds, of 5 whites to Fabiano's 4, which is, of course, an advantage in chess.
And it becomes a bigger advantage the better you get, right? White at the highest level is a bigger advantage than it is at average tournament play.
And I love this quote. Love it.
This is one of Magnus's most famous quotes that he didn't just make this year. One of the earlier quotes we had was something he said recently in the press conference. But this is a great one that just shows who Magnus Carlsen is inside. What makes this dude tick? Some people think that if their opponent plays a beautiful game, it's okay to lose. I don't. That's it. I don't, right? I've had mediocre years. I've had good years. This year has been the best by far. That is a quote that was made recently by Fabiano in the press conference, and of course it's true. This has been his best year by far, and of course he's hoping to cap it off, put the icing on the cake, if you will, and add to that year with a World Chess Championship.
You know what they're really trying to do, Danny?
What?
There are no draws allowed before move 30. So it is move 26.
Move 26 means it's against the rules to agree to a draw before move 30.
Yep. What about bishop takes e5 here? And bishop takes e5 is a very good question, because if you take this pawn e5, take back, and knight takes e5, you get 3 pawns for your sacrificed bishop. And that's a very interesting change.
Yeah, no matter where the king goes, you get your third pawn.
Right. You get that third pawn right off the bat. Now, position that can...
Oh, and he didn't go for it.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh.
We all wanted to see it happen.
We all wanted that. Oh. Oh. That's disappointing.
Some questions for you. You've told us about your match experience, but you've very good experience playing both of these players. So what can you tell all of us about their styles and sort of how you feel when you've played both of them?
Well, yeah, I've played both of them, and although somehow my real results was not good, almost I think probably even a bit worse against Magnus. But if we are looking from the chances that occurred during my experience while playing against them, apparently I got more chances while playing against Fabiano.
Bishop d2 is played, I guess, to try to slow down g5, or what are your thoughts on plans here?
I work for white at some moment.
Okay.
It's a tricky decision, because after f4, if exchange back try to push g5 at certain moment, you might get a pass pawn.
Right, get this past h pawn.
Very careful about it. I assume he might calculate bishop c5 first, because if it looks equalizing, if let's say these dark square pawns could be defended well, and white can make some counterplay, whatever, on attacking e5 or create a pass pawn on the center, then he will go for it.
The draw has officially been agreed. There we go. So as we expected, knight takes f5 was played. f5 was played and the draw was agreed for exactly the line that we just showed you, the king bringing itself into h1. Is a light square that the bishop is just a bystander to watch.
Yep.
You know?